Hello, friends. Welcome to May 24-hour sprints. At some point, I will turn on a ring light because I realized it got darker in here faster than I thought it was going to, and it's not translating. I have lights on, but it's not translating well on screen. Hello, friends. How are you? Welcome to 24-hour sprints. If you're new here, I'm Neva, and this is Reading with Neva. And 24-hour sprints is the most chaotic thing on my channel, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we read, we talk, we do a lot of talking, especially as the night gets nighty.
I love that we have to start with that disclaimer now. We do a lot of talking.
Yes, we do a lot of talking. We will do some reading as well, but just know that you are more than welcome to mute us, read while we chat. You can do whatever. I can't see you, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, even if I could see you, if Margaret got bored of me and was like, you know what, I'm gonna read while we talk, I'd be like, all right, cool, dude. It's fine. So there you go. These are far less structured than regular sprints, regular reading and productivity sprints on my channel. So that is why I just call them 24-hour sprints. I don't put reading or productivity in front of them because they really could be anything. So
you should. It gets you more money.
That is true. I probably
when
should.
Monetize, they will pay. So here's something I figured out. Anyone that is monetized, YouTube pays more, or you get more RPM or whatever it is for videos titled productivity than you do for videos titled reading. So do productivity sprints if you can.
That's good to know. Yeah, well, sure.
Yes.
My regular sprints, my sprints that I do, they're coming back once a week. Starting next week. I got to figure out what day because I was going to do Wednesday, and then I remembered that Nell does Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm going to figure it out. But we, when I do those, I do put reading and, I put productivity and reading sprints in the title.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing today, Margaret?
I don't know. We're just getting stuff done. I've been listening to Taylor Swift all day. I've got the house to myself for the next couple of hours. So I don't know. I'm probably going to do dinner next. And then I don't know. Are books going to happen? Not entirely sure. I have one more thing that I would like to read and one thing I'd like to finish by the end of the month. But I don't know if that's happening because I also need to script videos and stuff. In other words, hold on. I am a mess. Is that the right one? That's the right one. No, that's not the right one. Cross stitch is hard, y'all.
Cross stitch is hard. That's why I switched.
Apparently,
a lot. But I switched.
I'm apparently getting myself into drama with I deleted the message, but getting myself into drama with authors that don't know how to stay out of reviewer spaces. So
just remember, friends, reviews are not for authors, they're for readers.
Yeah, yes they are.
Which is why I also think it's weird when authors say that other authors shouldn't review books, and I'm like, but they're not reviewing them from an author. I mean,
they aren't, so.
But I also feel unless they're going into your space to talk about your book, authors are readers too.
Yeah, here's the thing. I understand to some extent why they say that. It's basically it's a self-protection measure, because if you review another colleague's work badly, it might have negative impacts on your own career. I think that that's unprofessional, in my opinion. It drives me nuts that they have that is a thing that has been allowed to happen in author spaces. Because what are you doing finding out what this writer has rated your book on Goodreads 4 years ago? Why are you looking at their reviews in the first place, bud?
I think that's my issue with it is why are you really looking at why are you digging through reviews anyway?
Yeah.
That's what you have ARC teams and whatever.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problem is people be snitches. There are people who will snitch because they think it'll get them I've had it happen to me
Like,
that they'll
wow,
switch to
yeah.
people because they think it'll get them points with the person that they want to have a relation, like they want to be in relationship with. But like, yeah, this was a situation where I made a comment about the fact that this author is known for being a problem with reviewers. Like, I have friends that she has blocked for being like, hey, this is uncomfortable. And so she decided to come into a reviewer's space and be like, hey, I wasn't aware that this was my reputation. Ma'am.
Well, I also think when it comes to like authors reviewing other, like reading books, right, and reviewing them,
you do have to keep the level of professionalism there, in my opinion. I think if you can do it professionally, you should do it.
At least the authors that I follow, they don't know the people that they're reading.
Yeah.
Like they're not like they don't know like.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of indie authors that all read Fourth Wing. They don't know Rebecca Yarros.
No, they do not. The thing is, especially in Trad Pub, it's the writing community is such a small community, especially when you start getting down into specific genres. So like you could end up on a panel with someone and them not like the idea that you being on the panel with them because you gave their book 2 stars once. So you do have to consider that. And I think that from a self-preservation thing, I'm okay with that advice. From a author shouldn't do this thing, I hate it. I
Yeah,
hate it.
well, and that's what I'm saying is like the self-preservation thing. I understand, like doing it with the level of professionalism and coming at it from a reader's standpoint and not an author's standpoint. Like, yes, but to say that authors should not review books simply because they are authors is weird to me.
Yeah, I know. I disagree with it, and I got jumped the other day on Threads because I said I think that the thing that you should be pushing back against is the people that think you shouldn't do it, that will retaliate against someone for doing that. So
right. Yeah, the weird.
What do I know?
Hello, Glenda. Happy 24 hours. Oh, I guess I should say what I'm doing. I have this diamond painting. I am determined to finish it. Okay. I have I have like 4 squares left of this diamond painting that I've been.
What I don't like about Child's Play is the start.
Okay, well, are you gonna watch it or no?
Yes.
Okay, goodbye.
I muted the start.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
do not like looking at the TV when it's the start of the movie.
Okay, goodbye.
There's blood.
Okay, well, it's Child's Play, Ari. It's a Chucky movie. Okay, goodbye. Bye.
The first time I discovered Child's Play and I decided to watch it, I thought that it was just going to be a kid buying a doll and playing with it, but apparently not. And it includes blood and guns in the beginning.
Yes, I tried to tell you that. Okay, goodbye. I should say what I'm doing. So I have this diamond painting that I need to finish. I've been working on it for 6 months, and it's only a 13 by 13, so it shouldn't be taking me that long.
Okay? Yeah.
So, and that's in inches. So in centimeters for those that don't do inches. So anybody not in America, 32.8 by 32.8 centimeters is what this is. So it's not like super huge. There's no reason it should have taken me 6 months. But I also would like to read some more of Bloodguard. I am actually enjoying this book. I am like 60-ish% through at this point. And I do like it. I will say that if you don't like a slow burn, this probably isn't for you. If you don't like political fantasy, like the political side of fantasy in your romantasy, it's probably not for you either. Because there's a lot of politicking in this book. Like more politicking than I've really seen in the romantasy genre as of lately. So there's there's a lot of politicking in this book, and then I am, like I said, like 60% through, and we've only had one like spice scene. Like it was fine. Like it wasn't like the best spice I ever read or anything, but it wasn't the worst either. You know what I mean? And I have no idea if this is marketed to children, not children, but like YA. I would think not. Since it is Red Tower books, but I don't know because I've seen that some of the Red Tower books they're claiming were YA. The Games Gods Play I think was marketed to YA, and that is Red Tower also.
What? No, that was solidly in the adult book section.
I think, but I mean, there were people on the interwebs that were claiming that it was being marketed to YA.
People on the interwebs.
In my bookstores, it was being put in the adult section, or the new adult section, I guess, because like my indie bookstore technically has a new adult section, and it was being, and like, I don't know, the main character felt a little bit young to me, but there's definitely spice in that book. So I just assume if it's Red Tower that it's supposed to be for adults.
It is supposed to be for adults if it is Red Tower.
But yeah, I'm actually really liking this book, which is good because the book is like really pretty. So yeah, I didn't want to have to get rid of it.
If I pick anything up, I will probably pick up and finish the because I'm on reading the second Emily Wilde book. Mm-hmm. But I was reading that as an ebook.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, if I pick up an audio, I will go back to I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me.
I have no audiobooks at the moment. It'll probably be a podcast for Critical Role if I need an audiobook.
Which I have been enjoying that book as well. So hello, Kate. Excited for this. We're excited to have you. Want to finish up some books before the end of the month? Girl, listen, you and me both, okay? Because I'm actually trying to start with like a fresh slate come June.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not trying to have, now my exception here is going to be like I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me, and then the other book, Puck Yes, because those books, well, I can't, I'm not going to be able to, I don't think I'm 50% through I Feed Her to the Beast. So if it gets to be like tomorrow and I'm still sitting at like 20%, I'll just wait and finish it in June. Since we have like power-up cards or whatever. But I'm really trying to start with a clean slate. Those two books are an exception because they're part of KU Clean Out. So I do allow project books to carry over into, multiple months or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know that I won't finish another book other than I may finish Bloodguard before the end of the month, but I won't finish another TBR book. And I've already filmed my TBR. It's going up tomorrow. So, and I even think I said like I may finish Bloodguard by the end of the month, but I may not. But I'm close enough to the end of Bloodguard that if it carries over into the first couple days of June, that's fine. I've only read 4 books this month, and I truly think it's because in May I got rid of dedicated reading days.
Yeah.
As part, because I've since doing YouTube like full time or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I would schedule in at least 2 reading only days, like dedicated reading days. So usually those days were me reading on my Kindle while I was like importing footage or editing a video.
Yeah.
And I just like ex-nayed dedicated reading days in May, and it shows. Like it true, like it, because those days at least, like I didn't feel like I was not doing other work because they were they were penned in as reading days. Like I knew that Monday I'm only reading my book. Like I'm not, like I don't need to be filming sit down videos and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hello to Ro. Everyone's saying hello in the comments. Oh my God, my comments jumped. Here we go. Hello to Margaret. Hello. Aiming to finish books before Tara and organize my reading plans. Yes, I forgot that we had power-up cards, so I never made like a spread for the power-up cards. So I did that today, and I posted it over in the, what is that? Like in the Discord server or the channel that's for like journal spreads, right? Because they're all the same as far as
so glad I don't have to have answers. We're just doing vibes this year.
Girl, same. To be honest, I said this like in my video because I had a couple people that asked like after they watched the announcement, like if I was upset. Like I got a couple of DMs asking if I was like upset that I wasn't
people need to mind their own business. Well, and between us and Brianna.
And realistically, the 2 people that asked are people that have been, I'm not going to say who they are. I would tell you like behind the scenes, but they are people that have been like heavily involved with my channel since the beginning. So it wasn't so much like a, did you have a falling out? It was more of a, because I said at the beginning of the year, right, that I was going to like take a step back from doing a bunch of readathons. Because last year I did a readathon every month. Like hosted a readathon every month. I looked back on it at the end of last year, and there were only 2 months out of 12 that I wasn't helping host a readathon. But honestly, I'm kind of vibing with just being like a participant, because I can take my time with like making my journal spreads and like hanging out.
I can figure shit out when I need to figure shit out, and I appreciate that this year.
Right. So yeah, but I'm having so much fun, because like last year I did make a journal spread, but I had a lot of trouble keeping up with it, with like the tickets, because I loved that we got like the little boarding passes or whatever they were. But I had trouble keeping up with my journal spread because I was doing like other things I guess I was a producer last year technically, but as a producer, like I was still, hopping around. But yeah, I have not given the tar prompts a single thought yet. That is fine, honestly.
That's a later tonight Margaret problem.
Yeah, I only did it because like I got my new journal, and then I was like, I need to set up all the things.
That honestly might be a Sunday Margaret problem. I might just go, these are the books I want to read next month. Will they work? I don't know.
Yeah. Hello, Jean. Not reading due to migraine. I hope you feel
better.
Sorry. Jean, I also love Emily Rath's recommendations. Jean said, I love Emily Rath's recommendations. She seems to keep objectivity when she reviews. She does. And I also noticed that she tends to review outside of what she writes.
Yeah.
Now, she has called out, there's like a hockey romance that's about to be published sometime this summer or like fall time. That's like co-written by I
heard about that one.
Ex-hockey player who is a terrible person, and she's been very outspoken about not reading this book. But as far as like her actual reviews of books, like the recommendations she's given, she does give recommendations for like hockey romance, right, which she writes, and she does for fantasy. She kind of gives recommendations across the board, but she doesn't tend to give like really in-depth reviews. She tends to say like, I recommend this book because blah blah blah. If you like these tropes, you'll like this book. That's kind of how she does it, and I feel like that keeps just turn it down. I'll be there in a second. That keeps like objectivity, and also it keeps it professional.
It's not even objectivity, it's just it keeps her from getting into anything that might hurt feelings. Because I am so sorry, but authors can be some of the thinnest skinned people I have ever met in my entire fucking life.
Which I'm not trying to be funny, but that is so interesting to me, because like you are putting this piece of work right out into the world. To me, it's like any other.
Writing is the only form of art where people are expected not to have a negative opinion about their fellow
and I feel like maybe because I'm a singer, and in my youth I was also an actor, and so like you're constantly critiquing.
Acting is one of the most personal forms of art. So it is funny to me when authors take things personally, because it's not like, I know it feels personal, but it is not personal. And I 100% know that I will have, when I am published, there will be times that I'll be like, hey guys, they're saying this about my fucking book in the group chat, and be like, talk me down.
And we'll be like, Margaret.
But also, I know that it needs to stay in the group chat.
And I think that's the thing, is like these authors do not have, like, tell me you don't have a group chat without telling me. Like, keep things in your group chat, bro.
Yeah, like you're never going to see me complaining about negative reviews. There are negative reviews that I already have an entire plan on how I'm going to handle, like, who I would still watch and all of that stuff. And the people that I would still watch would not know that I was watching them, because I would keep my mouth fucking shut. But I would also be interested, like, want to know what they have to say, because I value their opinions. I'm not going to be looking at everyone's negative review.
Right. Well, and I also think that it's not realistic to think that every person is going to like your book. Now, do I think that we should be tagging authors in negative reviews?
Absolutely not. We should not be.
I've
Authors
only
need to stay
ever,
out of reviewer spaces.
I have literally only
publicly.
ever tagged. Okay, so when I posted about Pucking Sweet in my stories, because I make my reading, like when I read a book, I take a picture of it and I put it in my stories, and then I put that in a highlight, right? I did tag Emily Rath in that, and I think I may have tagged Emily McIntyre when I read Hexed, but I gave both of those books 6 stars. Like if I'd give, but when I read North is the Night, I did not tag Emily Rath in that, and I gave it 3.5.
Yeah. And there is, like, Rachel mentioned this when we were talking, like, during one of the panels at BookNet Fest. She said, you know, my blanket statement is reviews are for readers. Authors do not belong in reviewer spaces. I say that because so many authors just do not know how to behave in reviewer spaces, and they will attack readers. They will send their fan, even if you don't mean, like, here's the thing, because I've had authors tell me this, even if you do not mean to send your fans after people, you have no control over them doing that.
Right?
You have no control over them doing that.
Yeah, you can say, oh, this person gave me a terrible review, but don't go attack them. That doesn't mean that somebody's not
going to. Your fans are still going to. I'm sorry. It does not matter how good of a fan base you have constructed. There is still going to be that. But but Rachel said, she's like, I know authors that 100% can listen to someone's negative review of their book and not take it personally, and do seek those out because they want to see what reviewers are saying and see if there's anything that they feel they need to change from that. But in general, she's like, no, do not, like, most of y'all are not able to do that. And I feel like the people that are, we come from fields where we are used to professional critique from colleagues.
Also, I feel like the authors that do that are not making themselves known that they're doing it.
No, they are absolutely
they're not interacting with your content. They might like it or something, but they're not like actively commenting on the content. They're watching it, they're taking what you say, and then they're leaving.
Yeah. I mean, like, for me, it's if you are not someone that feels comfortable, like if you are not someone that I would actively already be seeking out for your opinion on my book, I do not want to be tagged by you. Thank you. No. If it's a negative opinion, I don't need to know. I will have people that will report back to me, like, if people are bringing up things that I feel need to be addressed in future writings.
Right.
But other than that, yeah.
Well, and I also think that also goes for people that watch... I'm going to use Natalie as an example. So, like, I watch Natalie from Weirdo Book Club, right? And she has reviewed some of my favorite dark romance books. Yeah. But I specifically watch her channel because first of all, her critiques are truly on point. But they're also funny to me.
Yes, this is a problem. I understand that, but like, it's why I like it.
I have literally commented and been like, hi, this was one of my favorite books, but I'm literally here with the popcorn because I want to know your opinion. Because her critiques are valid critiques. Like, the things that she talks about where she's like, this is like not okay, like in life. And I'm like, correct, it's not.
Remind me to tell you the story from the dark romance panel, by the way.
Okay.
I don't know that she, it was not a fun moment for her, so I don't want to like just go blasting it across the internet, but it was, we had a moment at BookNet Fest.
I will message you during the sprint and you can send it to me in a voice message. But yeah, I watch her specifically because I know that she's going to critique favorite books. And sometimes, honestly, she has critiqued some books that I have been like, this now makes me want to read it. And I've had people comment and when I have commented on her stuff and be like, honestly, this is so refreshing to like see someone that's read this book and liked it, watch this and not get like upset about it. Because she does sometimes get comments that are like, I can't believe you would say that about my favorite book. And I'm like, bro, I don't know you.
We make fun of that in the mod chat sometimes.
Like, nor does she care that you, like, she literally put the disclaimer at the beginning that says, if this is your favorite book and you don't want to listen to a rant review, I would suggest you don't watch this video.
I actively noped out of the book club pick for April, even though I was so very excited, because the people in the group chat were not loving the book. And it's, fuck, did I do the wrong? Did I stitch over something I should not have stitched over? I did. Oh well. Changing the pattern. It's one of my favorite books, and it's written by someone who is a friend of mine. So I'm like, you guys,
I'm gonna see myself.
I understand y'all's critiques. I also have rejoinders to these critiques, and I'm going to not take place in this discussion because I don't want to. I'm a mod, and I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable.
Which, and my thing is like that is critical thinking and good choice making, in my opinion. Yes. Jane is going shopping, but we'll be back later. Wonderful. Have fun shopping. Hello, Savasha. Reading Yellowface. I need to read this. I have this as an audiobook. Like, I bought it, like I pre-ordered it when it came out, like before it came out, and I am sitting here like I don't actually know if this is a book that I would enjoy. You know? Yeah. Like, the longer I sit with it, because I just actually unhauled a bunch of books. And I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna do like a, you know how people like post them in their stories or whatever on Instagram. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna do it that way and then put whatever's left after like 24 hours on Pango. The only problem is that I have 2 or 3 books I know for sure are by a problematic author, and I don't know what to do with the books. Like, somebody will buy them, I'm sure. But it's also like a thing of like, I took all of this author's books off of my TBR. Yeah. So I'm also unhauling the physical copies that I have.
Some point I will make the deep dive into why I don't read Twilight anymore, even though I loved those books. But not anytime soon.
Yeah, I tried to reread Twilight when Sarah did her read of it a couple years ago. I couldn't get past the first book. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Good evening, Lauren. How's everybody? I'm well. I hope you're well. Happy Friday. We made it through the week. Yes, we did. Thank you, Glenda. Hello, Lily. Hello to Margaret from Lily.
Huh?
Watering My Lawn and Trying to Finish Love Lettering by Kate Claiborne. Wonderful. Hello, Chrissy. I DNF'd Mr. Mercedes and reading a cozy ghost adventure book called What a Ghoul to Do. Wonderful. I am finishing Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. It's really good. I should read more Lisa Jewell. That's who wrote that.
I haven't read it yet. I need to.
I read, what is that one that Kelsey gave me for her vlog? It had like a podcasty, Netflixy element to it, and I can't think of what it's called. Something with True in it, I think. I think that was Lisa Jewell. I don't know. It was about the 2 women that have like the same birthday, and then you have to try to figure out which one is lying and which one's telling the truth. It was, I don't know, it was a trippy book.
We had, oh my God, okay, so this was something that I found out ages and ages ago. We had a client that had the same birthday and name and birth date as someone else that was on, like, I don't know, United Healthcare. One of the, like, it was same insurance, same name, same birth date, but one of them lived in California. And so our client kept getting billed for the other guy's stuff.
Oh.
And the only, like, they finally, this is why your doctor's office asks for your social, by the way. The only way that they were able to get that fixed was that we had to start submitting
their social security
number. They had to start submitting the social security number as well as name and date and birthday, because it was starting to cause issues.
Yeah, because no two social security numbers are going to be the same, even if you happen to have like the same everything else.
Yeah, like social security numbers, you can't. Anyways, but yeah.
Having Jersey Mikes and heading to oldest playoff game for baseball season. So fun. Hello, Christina. Christina says, hi, Margaret.
Hello, Christina.
So far behind myself this week. Thought it was Wednesday. I mean, that's fair. Christina with all the reminders: hydrate, feed yourself, check the laundry, take meds, stretch, show some love to the like button, and make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. Also, if you eat, let me know what you're eating because I'm nosy. Okay, thank you. Hello. I hug the like button and I'm stepping away, but I'm leaving the tab open. Happy sprinting. Thank you so much. Happy early birthday, Lauren. Lauren's birthday is tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow and I'll tell you happy birthday again. Oh, I forgot to put in. I like set it up and then forgot to put the timer in. That's good. There we go. I was wondering why we just have like a black screen. I was like, what is going on? That's why. Anyway.
I love
that. Okay, so that is the end of the comments. Do we want to read for an hour?
I want to do something for an hour.
That's what I'm saying. So, all right, let's
go. Reading? I don't know.
We will jump into whatever we're doing, whether we're reading. I have to make Ari her dinner, so I'm going to do that. And then...
Yeah, I'm going to go make me dinner.
Yeah, because she had two choices for dinner. And so I was like, you can have this or you can have this. And she chose the thing that I need to cook. So we'll order pizza tomorrow instead. It's fine. Of course, she'd make me cook. Oh, Lord. But that's what we're going to do. Hello, Brooklyn. On my way to Sydney to some Aussie Kiwi booktubers. Yes, I think this weekend it's like, Brooklyn, are you part of the group that's like Saluna and Nicole and Jess Kiwi and all of them? Is that the group you're meeting? Because I know there's like a couple of different groups of Aussie people meeting.
Yeah.
Because like
so that would be Aussie and then Kiwi is New Zealand. So
yeah. But if I remember, but I also saw that Sash and Meredith had posted a picture, so I didn't know if they were also part of this group or if that was like a whole separate thing. I didn't know what was going on. Okay.
Yeah.
Here,
in my messages.
I did forget to talk about the playlist. This is the playlist. Thank you, Christina. It is also linked over in on my community tab. So if you want to follow that way, you can act like when we start the sprint, you can refresh from the playlist and then it will just take you to each individual thing, like each individual live stream as it goes live. So you don't have to try to jump around. Hello to Brooklyn. Okay, thank you. Yes, okay, it is that group. Okay, so it's all of you together. That's so fun. That's fun. By the end of this year, I'm gonna see. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go see some people. Ari thinks we need to go see Margaret, so maybe we'll go do that. Maybe we'll just show up on Margaret.
I want to see Coda.
I know. You want to see everyone.
Yeah. Oh, and Brittany.
Well, Brittany is a little different.
Far.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Brittany is a little further. We'd have to get past.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. You know what? I don't know if that's your side of the country.
I mean, technically, Brittany is just above us.
I will be further west later this year at some point, but I don't know how close to where you are. I will be.
Where are you going?
Like, we will be in Wyoming.
Wyoming.
So, like, I won't be in Florida, but I still think that there's going to be there's several states between us.
I'm pretty sure there's several states between me and Wyoming.
Yeah, there's at least.
I don't know geography.
I don't know. I want to say, hold on. Let me take a look at Florida versus Nebraska. There is at least a 7-hour drive between us. Or will be at least a 7-hour drive between us if I'm remembering correctly about where you live.
Yeah, because I'm in Iowa, so we'd have to go through Nebraska.
I'd have to go through. Oh, I might be close to Florida. I'd have to go through South Dakota or Nebraska.
Yeah, depending on how you decided to enter into the state. Honestly, if you're depending on where you were in Wyoming, if you came down through the bottom of the state and came through like the side of Nebraska,
Yeah.
I'm in the southeastern part of the state of Iowa, so it would actually probably be easier for you to come through Nebraska.
We are going to the Grand Tetons. I don't know where that is. I haven't even booked the plane ticket for that yet. I was trying to see about whether or not family reunion was actually going to happen, which is looking like it's not. Yippee.
We're going into a sprint and then I'm gonna go do your dinner, so
yeah, I need to go get some chicken thawing. So that I can
all right, so we're gonna do an hour sprint because we have time for that.
Do it.
So we're gonna do an hour and then we're gonna try to stick to a 15-minute chatty bit, but I'm not making any promises. So it's set so that it looks good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I will try to pay attention to the computer so that if we get more friends coming in, I can add them quickly because sometimes I walk off on my computer and I forget that like I'm the one hosting and that I'm the one that has to let people in.
Here is the thing. I just assume that I will be added when I am added because I don't expect people to be. I honestly never expect to be added until we get back from the sprint.
That's how I operate as well. Is I will like if I notice that like the sprint is almost over, like within like 5 minutes, then sometimes I will send a message like to the private chat that's like, hey, I'm here or whatever, just in case you have too many screens, right? Because after like 5 screens on StreamYard, you know, they start stacking at the bottom.
Yeah, I've had times. Okay, so this is funny. We had one day that I was waiting on one of the players for my Dungeons and Dragons game, and I went to text that I think it might have been Thor, and I was like, hey, when you gonna get here? And Thor was like, I've been here the entire time.
Scroll down.
I'm so sorry. It doesn't beep at me when new people come in. I have fixed that since.
Yeah, so I also have it so that it does like that bloop thing when somebody drops in. But if I have headphones in, I will not always hear it.
Yeah.
So, hey Ash, I'll be back. Just ate too full, no problem. We're about to go into a sprint right now, so I can go make dinner for the children that think that they need to eat in this house. Weird.
Children need to eat? What a surprise! I didn't know that.
I also probably am gonna update my my vlog because I'm doing a Patreon vlog this week. I'm doing weekly Patreon vlogs. So if you're in the Patreon, you're gonna start getting those. You're welcome. I don't know like what other stuff to give Patreon, so I need like feedback. Maybe I should do like I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to do something because I don't know. Like, I know the content that does well on my main channel, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know what extra content people care to see. So my weekly, like week in the life vlogs, I'm willing to do those. Like, not willing to, but like I want to do those for Patreon because I can be a little more like open in the Patreon setting that I can like to the entire internet, you know? So I was like, well, we can do that. And then they're not necessarily centered only around reading. They can be more like lifestyle vlogs. And
can I talk to my only father that I'm allowed to?
Yes, here. But then I don't know. But then I don't know what here. He might be at work still, so she's waving at you, Margaret.
Hi.
Okay, go talk to your dad. Bring me my phone when you're done. And then I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Oh, but I don't know like what other things they would like to have, like to see. You know what I mean? Because I could do like challenge videos, but like, do you want those to be like, are there challenge videos that you would want to be like only Patreon exclusive, or do you want just early access? You know what I mean? Margaret has a new video on her channel. Margaret, what's your new video?
Oh yeah, Margaret has a new video on her channel. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, Margaret has a new. Sorry, in between the. So he's fine. He's just going in to get a test. But in between the time I scheduled the video and the video has gone up, my dad did, because he's having some intestinal problems and he's got a history of. He's had issues similar and had a blockage, so they just want to like do the tests now to make sure that he's okay. But unfortunately, it is the weekend, so the only place to get it done in a timely manner is the ER. So he's currently at the ER to get a CT scan because they want to like get on top of that so he doesn't end up in the hospital for a week again if that's what's happening. But yeah, like there was a whole thing that like whole life thing that happened between when I scheduled the video and
what is your video, Margaret?
It is my top 15 summer releases.
Ooh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just actually got a new book in the mail today that I ordered when we ordered Ari's stuff.
Yeah.
I got this book, A Curse Carved in Bone.
Oh yeah, I need to go get that
because I needed to match my Fate Inked in Blood copy.
Exactly.
Especially since it's only a duology. And have I read a Fate Inked in Blood? No. However, I will be reading it because someone picked it as one of their favorite books for reading my friend's favorite books vlog. So I will be reading it after I finish the current one of those that I'm working on. So I was like, well, girl, you might as well have them matching, you know?
Yeah, I might as well. I definitely just got a couple of books from Barnes & Noble because I was like, I had the first book with the sprayed edges. I should get the second book with the sprayed edges because if I like this, I will want the sprayed edges.
Well, and then they also have like a Barnes & Noble special edition, and I was like, I don't want that because that's not going to match.
Yeah.
Because I bought my Fate Inked in Blood, my copy of that I bought from Walmart. So like it's just like a generic, not generic, but it's just like the regular copy of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
With the sprayed edges. So I was like, okay. But I also had points. I had like a $10 credit.
I didn't realize you could save those up because I've never saved mine up in my
like
life.
$15 credit or whatever. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I'll just use this credit to like get, books. Ash had seafood tonight. Wonderful. Listen, Ari is Ari. Okay, it's fine. She's also going through a transition, so it's okay. Wings or Firehouse subs? G is asking.
I feel like subs sounds good.
Yeah, subs do sound good, honestly.
I will always be a fan of subs. I mean, it's not that wings are bad. It's just that subs have bread.
She said so. I mean, I guess if you get breaded wings, technically they have bread.
I mean, oh, God. Here's the thing. If you were to say, do you want Publix fried chicken? I would say Publix fried chicken 100%.
Oh, my God, dude.
Gene is in Canada.
Here's the thing. Florida hates to see me coming, okay? Florida hates to see me coming because when I come to visit Florida, dude, I have to have two things: a pub sub and Publix fried chicken. Like, period. Okay. And then Indiana hates to see me coming because when I go back, like when I go to visit Indiana, it's Joella's chicken all the way. Like,
yeah. Listen, I love my fried chicken. Fried chicken is so good.
So good. Oh my God. Now look at us. Now we're just like we're drooling over.
It's almost always a solid choice because even if you batter it in milk, usually, because you have cooked it, it will not send me to the hospital.
Oh, because you're lactose intolerant, right?
No, I am allergic to milk. I'm full on.
Oh, you're actually allergic to milk. Okay.
Yeah, so like it won't just make my stomach unhappy. It will it's not just that I don't have the enzyme to process it. It's like that
anaphylaxis.
I will go into anaphylactic shock if I do raw milk.
I have a
So, but like sometimes I can do okay if it's been like it's a small amount and it has been cooked.
I have a question.
For who?
1 minute.
What?
This one's for you, and then the next one's for Margaret.
Okay, what?
Why do you have to match those up?
Because this is a space in which they go in. And I moved from good notes to noteful. And so because I moved, I have to put stickers in my
Those
own.
are both trash cans.
I have to put.
Trash can.
Listen to your. What you asked me a question, so I'm answering it for you. So I have to put all my stickers back into the sticker books. Otherwise, I have to just use the individual PNGs. And it is easier for me to have a hyperlink sticker book that I can just flip through instead of having to scroll through thousands of stickers.
For real?
So I am taking the week that it has taken me to make 2 sticker books because we are given the blank. We're giving the blank sticker book shell, so I might as well utilize it for my stickers.
To make one.
Okay, well, we'll see.
What
question do you have for Margaret?
What question do you have for me, my friend?
Is she allergic to cats?
I don't know. Ask Margaret.
Margaret, are you allergic to kitty cats?
Yes, unfortunately.
Look how sad it makes me.
Do you have any pets?
Not at the moment. I used to have a dog, but she's been gone for a little bit, and I have only just because pets are expensive, my friend.
Mommy over here says that I can get a pet when we move out, and I also want a Chucky doll, and she said I have to.
You have to have your own room for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry.
I've been waiting to get a puppy for the same reason your mom said you guys got to wait to move out. I want to make sure I can take care of it, and I'm almost there.
On the wall, and I will cuddle with him, and you won't even see his face.
I
you
do
won't
not
even
care.
see his eyes.
But she wants a Chucky doll, dude. And she doesn't mean like a good guy, Chucky. Okay?
Yeah, I do.
I know exactly which Chucky doll she
I want the bad guy.
Okay, well, either way.
I want the good guy, not the bad guy.
Okay, either way, they're both creepy.
I don't want the bad guy.
Okay, I'll get you Annabelle next.
Why isn't creepy? I want one like in Child's Play when Andy gets one for his birthday.
Yeah, that's the good guy version.
Yeah, I want a good guy, not a bad guy.
Yeah, okay, well, what I said still stands. Okay? Love you so much. You'll get one. You will just have to be moved out, and you'll have to have your own room. I'm not looking at that thing. I'm so sorry.
God!
I know.
Why can't you be like Andy's mom? She can handle the dang doll.
Andy's mom is fictional.
And also, Andy has his own room.
That is true.
She can still look at Chucky's face.
I'll look at his face.
She will look at his face.
I just don't want him looking at me while I'm sleeping.
He won't look at you. He will be facing me. You know how I know? Because he's going to be by the wall, and I'm going to be by you.
Oh, well, no thanks. I do not want that in my bed. I'm so sorry.
Can I just sleep with Papa when I get a Chucky doll? If we're still living here?
No. I know.
Chucky
it's
doll
hard.
while we're living here.
I know. It's hard to be 8, isn't it?
Yeah, because I don't get a Chucky doll.
Well, maybe I'll get you one. You can keep it in the playroom. Because when we move upstairs, you'll have a playroom. You keep them in the playroom.
Where's going to be the playroom?
Do we want me to get wings that have no sauce?
Yes. That's my opinion.
I mean, I love the sauce stuff.
No, I love if you're going to get the wings, you got to get the sauce, man. You got to get the sauce. That's one of the best parts. That might just be me. That's one of the best parts in my opinion. Of chicken is the sauces.
That.
Because they have to fit over the thing.
That's ridiculous.
Sorry.
That's ridiculous to put stickers on a sketched background and then
they're here.
Make them in there.
Yes, they're here because then it looks like a peel and stick sticker. So you know how like when you get a sheet of stickers?
Yeah.
Okay, when you peel the sticker off, you still will have like the background of the sticker, right? That's what this is supposed to be like. That way you know where to put the stickers. Relax. It might be ridiculous to you. It helps me. Christina says, hi, Ari.
Hi, Auntie. Love you.
All right, go watch whatever you're watching. Thank you, Ash. She does. Don't tell her that though, because she'll tell you she doesn't. So.
Popeyes. Go for Popeyes.
Oh, yeah, Popeyes. I would do Popeyes. Although I do like KFC's famous bowl.
I have beef with KFC.
Oh, that's fair.
They just aren't as polite as I would like them to be. That's it. That's all.
No, not Chucky. Listen, here's the thing, okay? And I've shared this story on my channel before, but her dad let her watch it when she was 5. Okay, Ari, I'll deal with it. He let her watch it when she was 5 because she had told me that her dad would let her watch it, and I said, "Cool, if your dad will let you watch it, then go ahead." Because I had said
Dad,
no.
You said to Dad that it's his problem if I get nightmares.
Yeah, and I
Because
stood
he's
by
the
it.
one who let me watch it when I was 5 years old.
Yeah. So
we lived with him when I was 5 years old.
We did. So go. Bye. So he told her that if she slept with her door closed for like a week, that he would let her watch it. Well, she ended up doing it for 2 weeks. And I was like, you told her she could watch this movie. So he let her watch it one night while I was at work, and he started to fall asleep. So he turned it off and was like, we'll finish it in the morning. Well, she decided she didn't want to wait. So she got herself up at like 5 a.m. and finished the movie by herself, which I know because she then came upstairs into my room and crawled in bed with me and was talking about, I shouldn't have finished that movie without my dad. And I was like, ma'am, but it's fine. Whatever.
Well, I didn't want to wake him up because
She's gonna have a lot of fun with some horror recommendations when she's older.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could have waited.
It's crabby when you wake him up.
Well, you could have waited.
I didn't want to wait.
I
wanted to finish the movie, and we were literally like almost done with it.
Well, that's fine. Go do your room, please. Thank you. Some of my kids arguments for things. Yeah, she's crazy. Depends on the sauce. I do agree with that. But like my wings have to be sauced, though.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Lauren. Happy Friday.
Is the sauce on the wings or is it like a dipping sauce? Because like I like to dip, but I don't want my breading to be soggy on the outside. On the inside, that's okay, but on the outside, no.
Yeah, so I like here I do like Pizza Hut wings because like first of all I don't really enjoy bone-in wings. I'm not a huge like proponent of eating meat off the bone. But I will do like the boneless wings or chicken nuggets as some people in my house call them. And those will be they'll be already sauced. Like I'll get them with like the mild buffalo sauce like already sauced because the breading holds up.
Yeah, we've had those before.
KFC pot pie. I mean, if I liked pot pie, then maybe, but I don't like.
I love pot pie. Now I want pot pie, but I can't eat the KFC pot pie because they do in fact put dairy in it, and it's not cooked enough.
Sent you an IG for when you go to Sprint. Okay, thank you so much. I will check it. $30 for a bucket of chicken. That's true. Actually, when like growing up, that's what we used to get. Like if we needed if we were getting something like to bring home and we were getting fast food or whatever, we would get that or we'd get Papa Murphy's pizza, the take and bake. But buckets of chicken because they were only like $20 to $30 for like a big bucket plus like sides and stuff. That's what we would get. I watched Lost Boys at 3 years old. Laughed my ass off. Still a fave. Listen, I mean, I'm not necessarily a parent that like.
Sometimes you gotta let the kids figure it out for
I don't
themselves.
necessarily censor things. Now, I will say to her, like, I don't think you're gonna want to watch this because of X, Y, and Z. Like, for instance, Grey's Anatomy. She's been watching Grey's Anatomy with me during the Patreon watch along. But I told her, like, this is a doctor show. Like, there is blood. It's kind of gross sometimes. You need to understand that. And she understands, so she will like leave the room if it makes her uncomfortable or whatever. But I have told her, like, this show was not made for children. So you may not like it. But I'm not really a parent who like censors things because I feel like when you do that, it just fosters curiosity.
Yeah.
If I'm like, no, you can't watch it, it fosters curiosity, and then she's just gonna try to watch it anyway. But I do warn her about things before she watches
Never watching
them.
Chucky ever again.
Yes. You never watch Chucky ever again?
Nope.
Why not? I thought you liked Child's Play, bud.
Now I don't.
Why? What happened? What happened?
Like last time.
Uh-huh. I mean, the movie never changes, Ari. It's always the same movie. It's always the same movie.
Well, I didn't really like when y'all were shutting me in my room
When?
for a week, and I slept in there with the door closed for.
I mean, you had the TV on. It's not like we put you in there in the dark. That'd be crazy.
I also. Had
But why
night
don't
light.
you? Okay, but why don't you like? Why don't you like Chucky now? What happened? I thought it was your favorite movie.
Now it is.
Why?
Because something in my mind formed when I watched it for the second time
Mhm.
in my life when I'm literally like 8 years old.
Mhm. You are 8 years old.
Like the thing of liking it just like fizzed up. Like it just like
You fizzed up.
like how Chucky bites the mom.
Yeah.
The mom.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It like did that to my brain when I was like, I'm 8 years old. Why do I feel like I'm scared?
Oh, well, because it's kind of scary, bud.
I'm 8 years old.
Well, I mean, I'm
Now
33, and there's still some movies that scare me.
Does she know?
Yes, everyone knows you're going to 3rd grade.
Eve. Wait, does Daddy say out?
Yes, your dad
Okay.
knows you're going into 3rd grade, Ari. Of course he
Well,
does.
he was only with me when I got chips and I ended 1st grade and I jumped into
Listen.
2nd grade.
Listen,
And that took a very long
listen.
summer.
He became your dad when you were 4 years old, but he's known who you are since you were born, bud.
Huh?
I was friends with your dad before he was your dad.
Daddy Sam?
Yes,
Oh my god.
I know. It's weird, isn't it? Okay, go watch TV. Love you so much.
By the way, I've never watched a Chucky ever again.
Okay, glad to hear it, I guess. I love Ari's attitude. Yes, she is one of a kind, to be honest. I try really hard not to stifle her voice.
Yeah.
Sometimes she goes a little overboard, but I try really hard to like not like trample her voice because someday she might need it.
Yeah. Well, it's smart. My parents did the opposite. So
Fine, but if I see an attitude change, it's going off.
Okay.
Spicy fried chicken is good. No sauce. They marinate in spicy stuff. We'll need to head to field. We'll check in when there is a break and when you return from first sprint. Yes, we're going to start.
yeah. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna eat.
I love Papa Murphy's. I worked at one for 2 years in high school. It was the best. We used to have one in my town, and now we have to go to town for, and it's actually so sad because like I know where it used to be in town, and it's not there anymore.
That was incredibly rude of them.
Because honestly, here's the thing, and like this is about to say like a lot about me, but growing up we were very poor, right? So we got like food stamps, and Papa Murphy's was a place that you could use your food stamps.
Yeah.
Because your EBT, because they were a take and bake place. And so once a month we would get, that was like a treat, right? Like everybody else would get like McDonald's, but we would get Papa Murphy's because we could use our EBT.
You can use the EBT.
What, Ari?
Papa Murphy's.
It's a pizza place. You've had it before. We had it at Adam's house. Remember when we went to that pizza place and then we took the pizza to Adam's house and we baked it in the oven? That's Papa Murphy's. Now what? Go watch Doll Time, dude.
Is there? Do you have money for Papa Murphy?
I mean, yes, but also like we'd have to go to the next town over. We're not going to the next town over, and Elizabeth has the car. So
Dang it.
I'm sorry.
Do you have money?
Maybe another day.
Can you just spend?
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow.
Because you were supposed to do that last night, but you didn't.
Do what last night? I didn't have money last night, bud.
Why do you have money now?
Magic. Bye.
You are not magic. If you were magic, I would ask you. I would ask you for a rabbit, and you would make it come out of a hat.
Listen, bud. I quite literally didn't have money yesterday, so I don't know what to tell you. But maybe tomorrow.
Please.
I'll think about it. It depends on how we do with doing things we're supposed to do, chores we're supposed to do. Okay.
This is what I needed to do with.
Okay, I'll get you a to-do list made, bud. Go ahead, go. I mean, what else am I supposed to say, Margaret? My parents were asleep. I had the remote, so I was just watching it and scared my mom with that and Face Off. It's fair.
Nice.
I just love how she was like, "Well, how do you have money today?" I mean, sometimes you have no money and then you have some. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like maybe she doesn't need to know what a paycheck is or what a payday is just yet.
But if she asks, like, I mean, if she legitimately comes to me and says, "Mom, do you have money for this?" and I don't have it, like, I'm not gonna lie to her. Like, I tell her,
I haven't paid yet.
But then she'll be like, "Well, how do you have money today if you didn't have it yesterday?" And I'm like, magic. I ordered this. Jean ordered a beef and cheddar sub. Sounds delicious.
Nice.
That's like how we are to the boys. We tell them things about that not appropriate and better to see it with us than their friends. Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, I prefer that she watches it like in a controlled environment where, like, at least if she's scared, like, she has the option to turn it off, right?
Yeah.
And at least in my experience, sometimes when you're watching things like with your friends, then they're like, "Yeah, this is so cool to watch," or whatever. Like, they're not going to turn it off just because it scares you. Like, they're going to continue to kind of like force you to watch it because it's funny to them that it scares you. And so I wouldn't want her to be like in a situation like that. So, like, I would definitely rather she watch whatever she's gonna watch here. But I do warn her about it first. Like, I don't just let her go into it blind.
Well, I feel like that's good. I mean, I know I brought stuff to my mom that we would go to my mom and be like, "Hey, we know you don't want us to watch this, but you don't think this is can you?" But I do believe we were weird children.
Right.
So we're not ready to watch this yet, Mom. Can we not? And she would fast forward stuff for us.
Ash, The Nun is scary as hell, to be honest. That is a scary ass movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. My favorite franchise of movies are the Hannibal Lecter movies, but they scare the shit out of me. Every time I watch them, like, I have to, like, I'm 33 years old. I saw Silence of the Lambs when I was 14. And then the rest of the movies subsequently right after, right?
Can I sleep in this? 'Cause this is a
sure. And I will be absolutely 100 with you. Like, I still, like, to this day, I will, when I do watch them, which I usually watch them like around Halloween time, right? I will watch them with all the lights on, or I will watch them in the middle of the day. Like, because they still scare the shit out of me. I mean, she always tells me that I'm not magic, but then I'm like, well, how do you think that I have money in my bank account? Magic, bro. Listen, we're funny in this house. I want some of this magic money. I know, right, Lauren? It's crazy. Yes, magic. Here's the thing. I don't know. She's 8, right? So I don't necessarily think that she needs to know, like, where money comes from.
Yeah.
But I do have her understand that sometimes we do not always have money to do all the things that we want to do.
Yeah. That's a good thing to learn.
Silence of the Lambs, Mom and I can fall asleep to at night. Absolutely not.
So I can get a gold chain.
What do you need a gold chain for? Are you a rapper? Why do you need a gold chain?
So then I can hang out with my friends, but I can be a bit cool.
Homie, a gold chain does not make you cool.
I'm not cool.
You are cool, dude. Being cool has nothing to do with what you wear.
At school say I'm not cool.
Well, then are they really your friends? That's the question.
I don't know.
I don't think so, bud, because here's the thing. I don't have a gold chain.
Some of the boys in my class.
Well, boys are weird. That's first, but I don't have a gold.
Weird.
I don't have
Ryan's not weird, and he's a boy.
Yeah, he's weird. I don't have a gold chain, but I'm pretty sure Margaret thinks I'm cool.
Margaret,
yes,
Mama's cool.
I most certainly do.
See,
I want to be friends with her if I didn't.
You don't have to have a gold chain to be cool, dude.
You think I'm cool?
Absolutely, I think you're cool.
See? So you don't need to have a gold chain to be cool, dude.
Silence of the Lambs, Mom, and I can fall asleep to it at night.
Good job. That was good reading.
That says silence.
Silence, yeah. Ash says, we
love you,
Yep.
Ari.
We love you, Ari. Yep.
Why is there 2 exclamation points?
So that you know how much.
Oh, like these go together and those go together.
Yeah.
And then
the Hannibal Lecter books are so good.
these go together.
I do enjoy them. I
these
know
go
that they
together,
are
and those go
relatively
together.
I mean, for 2025. I mean, even for the time they were written,
You know how I
there
know
are
those
some
go together?
problematic things in them, but I do
Gas
enjoy them for what
station.
they are.
Car.
Yeah.
The car needs gas.
Yes. All right. Go watch your show. Goodbye. Love you so much. Okay, we are now at the end of the time for a second time. So we're going to do an hour-long sprint. Listen, Lauren, I'm just saying. He's weird on more levels than Ari knows. Margaret knows. So
I don't think Margaret all the way knows, to be honest.
Margaret
knows more.
Can I put the noodles in and stir it for you?
I will do it. Go. The Hannibal TV show was good. Yes, it was. If Margaret, I would tell Margaret anything that she wants to know. I'm not good at just like throwing up information on people unless they specifically want to know things, because sometimes people don't necessarily want to know things.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to pry, even though I want to.
I mean, Margaret, if you came to me and were like, "Hey, dude, so I want to know this," I would tell you. That's the thing. I'm very much an open book. If you ask me the question, if I feel that I'm not comfortable to answer it for whatever reason, I will explain to you why I'm not going to answer the question.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that I'm always here to know what's going on, but I also I've learned to be very good at recognizing, hey, Margaret, that's not really your business. You don't need to ask.
I mean, and I consider you and I close enough friends at this point that I would tell you whatever you want to know.
Everything. No.
I mean, make sure you want to know everything, because I think the only person that actually know, in the bookish,
it's just Brittany, right?
Is Brittany. And I will say that she did say she wanted to know everything, but I also feel like maybe sometimes I overwhelmed her a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, listen, here's my thing, because I just had this happen earlier with somebody that was like, yeah, you can DM me about this. And what they said was a lot. And it was not necessarily a heavy thing, but it was something that I was like, I need to navigate this with some care. Right. But it was also something that it's a little bit a lot, but also I'm not the one having to react to it in the moment. So I have the time, it was one of those things where I'm like, I have the time to sit back and think about this and absorb it without having to worry about affecting anything. Right.
Right. Well, I mean, and then I have friends like Kelsey, who I updated things to that group chat today, because I have multiple group chats, and Kelsey's reaction was, well, can I say now that I didn't like him at all? You know, so some of my friends just don't pull any punches. Don't like you? No, not me. Somebody else. Okay.
That makes, I don't think I knew enough.
And the reasoning, right? The reasoning that Kelsey does not like this person is a legitimate reason. I'll tell you later, because I do know why.
I know you probably don't want to
I do know why it is, because I did say well, Kelsey never with dinner never really acknowledged this person when they would butt into things. Yes. And then she gave an actual example, and I was like, that does make sense that would be the time.
Yeah.
That you were like, I don't like this person, you know? But it seems that a lot of people in the circle did not trust this person. But
to be honest,
didn't have quite enough background to definitively say hey, Neva.
It's one of those things that I'm like, I don't know this person enough to have an opinion one way or the other, so I'm going off of the person, yours in this case, but I will go off the person that I'm talking to's opinion, because I don't know them personally. So
Yeah.
It's not like I have friends who I have hung out with them and their significant others like on off time, like not like necessarily off screen because some of them are online relationships, but like off camera, we're with like nobody around.
Yeah, where you're gonna see like the actual like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people are going off of, because I will definitely, I think everybody does this, but like if I'm needing to be on camera, I'm definitely not going to be out here just like airing my grievances. You know what I'm saying? And so if people were to ask me, I'd be like, oh yeah, everything's good, whatever, even if it's like falling apart and burning down.
Yeah, I feel that. I am the same way. I've legitimately cried off camera and then dried my face and gotten back on for sprints.
Yeah, I have done the same thing. And so then unless somebody actually comes to me and says like, hey dude, you seemed a little off, are you okay? I'm not going to necessarily say anything like on camera. Yeah.
I have an entire degree in theater. You're not, unless something is really, really wrong, you're not going to know shit.
Truthfully, that's the thing, is people will be like, oh, but that's fake. And I'm like, no, that's masking. And unfortunately for you,
not even that, this isn't your business.
Right. And here's the thing is like, not only am I good at masking, but like also I've been in theater over half my life. Yeah. So like acting is easy enough if I need to for some reason.
Yeah, I will text the people that I need to text in the moment. And I did in that moment, and people came through in that moment. But like, absolutely, I've had times that stuff has happened, and you will not know, because number one, I'm always distracted, and number two, like it's the same thing. Like for me, people get mad about like I'm so sorry, we've derailed again, but like people will get mad about like, why do you say like, why are you going to ask how are you doing? Like, why? What am I supposed to do? Respond fine or respond with the real? And I'm like, you have to earn a response for me beyond fine. Right? When I was in customer service, like there were customers that I would legitimately, if they said, how is it going? I would let them know legitimately whether or not I was having a good day.
That's how, yeah.
Because they built a relationship. They were regulars. I knew them.
Yeah, because you build a rapport with your regulars. I was like that at every place I ever worked that was customer facing. There were some that if they asked me, I would tell them the truth. And there were some that if they asked me, I'd be like, I'm fine, how are you? Type thing, right? And it's like that with people that I know as well. Like the closer our friendship is, the more likely you are to get like, do you want the actual answer or do you want what I tell everybody?
I mean, always, but yes.
Yeah. Hello,
so,
Lexi.
Yeah.
Sitting down with dinner, mac and cheese. Hopefully we'll finish 2 books. Yes, if we ever read, it's fine.
Actually, don't shut up now, because I am hungry for food.
Yeah. I'm an open book as well. I think people who ask, and then there goes my friends. When I try to make in real life friends, they don't like who they discover who I am, and that's why it's hard to make friends.
That can be hard. Yeah.
It's why I gear towards online friends. I make easier than in person. That, or I am not an interesting person. I mean, I also think it's about like finding your people, right? So
yeah,
like I have in real life friends, but I also know which of those friends I'm going to tell all my business to, and which of those friends are just friends that I hang out with. You know?
Just because even though I'm your daughter, I'm still your friend.
Okay.
Because I heard that you said that it's hard for you to make friends.
No, somebody else was saying that.
No, somebody else said that, yeah.
Hey there,
Lexi.
Oh.
All right, go drink your water. I'm reading Bloodguard, and I'm also reading I Feed Her to the Beast, and the Beast is Me. Margaret, are you reading something? I know you have...
I don't know. I read a lot this month. I haven't wanted to pick up a book since, like, I have one I want to finish and one that I want to read that's it's a graphic novel, but I haven't been in a big reading mood. I think tonight might just be a planning videos to film tomorrow or Sunday and other stuff day.
Which, I mean, that's fair. Sometimes we need a break. What are you reading, Ari?
Well, I mean, I have to go back to the beginning and then come back here because she needs to know what the title is, and I can't tell her the title because I forgot it. So
why don't you tell us the title after sprints?
Yeah, why don't you get it set up and then you can share after the sprint, okay?
Okay.
Hello, Amy.
Wait, is there gonna be a sprint?
That
after
is
this?
also true. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna show it to them.
Ash.
Sprint, like the sprint after this.
Yes,
Okay.
it's the next chatty bit. And Ash is reading "Sing Me to Sleep."
Nice.
All right, we are actually going to go into a sprint now for an hour. So, are you ready, Margaret?
I am absolutely ready for it.
All right, then we will see everybody in 1 hour.
Love you too. Ooh.
I love my
Hello, friends. Margaret might be cooking. How did we do? I made Ari her dinner, and I also eat dinner. And that's really it. I didn't read anything this sprint, so I will read in next sprint. Chrissy is reading What's a Ghoul to Do. Hello, Patricia. I'll be back later on Tree tonight. Hi, Margaret. How did you do?
We did well. I got dinner.
That's what I did.
And ate dinner and watched TikToks. Kind of feeling like a watch TikTok kind of night.
That's fair. I did not read this sprint, but I'll probably read in the next sprint. But I did eat dinner also in the sprint, so
yeah, I don't think any reading is getting done tonight. I think that's a tomorrow Margaret thing that's gonna happen, so I can finish this freaking book.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I just watched YouTube while I ate dinner because I also don't like read while I eat.
Sometimes I'll read while I eat, but usually, you can't always read while you cook. So a lot of the time I watch YouTube when I'm cooking.
That's fair. Yeah, a lot of times I don't read while I eat. I just watch something and then go back to reading after I'm done eating.
Nice.
Okay. Chrissy has 20 pages left. Lauren, has 20 pages left of Then She Was Gone, and then we'll continue reading a book I have on my Kindle.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Oh, no, I have enough space that I can do that. I had to upgrade to a larger hoop because I was like, I don't want to keep like popping this off and popping it back on and messing up my embroidery, but also bigger than my hoop.
That's
so
fair.
I was like, okay, I think I can get I'm just trying to work on as many sections as possible.
Right.
At a time, so that way there's less of the in and out and all of that jazz. And all that jazz.
It's exactly what I thought of when you said that. Not even lie to you.
I have seen that movie exactly once, but some of those songs are bangers.
I've seen it way more than once.
That happens sometimes.
So when it comes to like musicals, I tend to have hyperfixations.
Mm-hmm.
So when I find musicals that I actually like, because I don't like all musicals, okay?
Yeah.
I tend to hyperfixate on them. And Chicago was one that I hyperfixated on from like 18 to 21. I don't know why I was like so obsessed specifically with Chicago. Like it just, I don't know. But
I don't think Chicago was ever a hyperfixation for me. I watched it to watch it, but it was never like it didn't have a proper romance. So of course Margaret didn't.
Yeah, I feel that it was the aesthetics of Chicago.
The aesthetics are immaculate.
And also in the movie version of it with Catherine Zeta-Jones, the black guy in it he kind of like narrates things.
Yeah.
He played Benny in Rent.
Okay.
So I think that like seeing a familiar face in another musical also made me like hyperfixate. Because prior to that, my hyperfixation was Phantom of the Opera and Rent.
Wait, are you talking about Taye Diggs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not good with actors' names.
I see. He was a
So
Idina Menzel's husband for a hot minute. So
I try to just I try to find something that like someone else would know, like that they were in.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, I have seen Rent once. Not live, but I saw the original version. Yeah. The original movie.
Yeah.
And like some of the songs just like freaking stick with you.
I mean, Rent is like a top 5 for me.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
And then like I feel like it's like cliche to say, but like I do like Hamilton is probably in top, maybe not top 5, but it's definitely like in top 10. Hamilton was a weird one for me because people hyped Hamilton up so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't feel like it necessarily lived up to all of the hype.
Yeah.
Does that makes sense? Like it was good, like don't get me wrong, and like I enjoy it and I watch it and like whatever. But it was one of those musicals where like it felt so new to people, like the hip opera thing felt so like newer to people and like fresh or whatever. And so everybody like jumped on it when it came out, and then I was like, I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not like it's probably in my top 10, but it's definitely not top 5. Like top 5 for me would be like Phantom of the Opera, Rent, Sweeney Todd.
All I have to say about Hamilton, I mean, I do love it. It's one of the musicals. So that and Taylor Swift's music, I know I've listened to them so much that I can literally be fully using my brain doing something else. Okay. And also singing along to the music, and not know I'm singing along. But my main takeaway from Hamilton is W. Diggs. On every level, that man is so talented. But like,
I mean, truly,
he digs.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit like weird because like I also am. Listen, a lot of people don't remember when they did this. Okay, but when they did Legally Blonde the musical, I was so obsessed with Legally Blonde. Like to this day, if I just want like if I'm like feeling down or something, I will turn on the Legally Blonde the musical soundtrack because Laura Bell Bundy, I think she only recorded like one country album, which I own. And then she was in Heart of Dixie, the TV show Heart of Dixie. And I loved her in that. But I think she did Legally Blonde the musical either before or during Heart of Dixie. I was like 16 when that came out on MTV. Because they used to play it on MTV all the time.
I feel like Legally Blonde the musical was 2007. So yeah, it would have been around the same time, I believe.
Yeah. So I was like
16. I know her from Hairspray.
Oh, I did love Hairspray too. So like my top ones would probably be like Rent, Wicked, Phantom of the Opera, Sweeney Todd. And then I think the 5th one kind of fluctuates because sometimes it's like Legally Blonde the musical. Sometimes it's Les Mis. It like depends on my mood for sure. You know what I mean? Like, do I want to be happy or do I want to be melancholy?
Wicked will forever be my favorite just because I think Wicked was the first time that there was a main character that I could relate to with my skin condition.
Yeah. And for me, maybe it's just because I'm Black, but like
obviously.
It always came off to me as very racial thing, which is why I thought it was so weird when people were like, oh my gosh, Elphaba is played by a Black woman. I'm like, okay, but it's like you're just mad because now it's like in your face that it's like a racial thing, even though I think that they did very well with it because Elphaba's sister is mixed in that movie.
Yeah.
So it's not like they casted her to have a white sister.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then like we're like, oh, she's green. Like her family was obviously they were obviously Black people.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But Wicked, Wicked. So I had seen Wicked like as a stage play when I was like around Ari's age, maybe a little bit older, with my Girl Scout troop. But like going and watching the movie in the theater like healed a part of my inner child. I was bawling at the end, like absolutely crying. And I've already told my little brother that he has to go with me, my 6-year-old brother. I was like, we're gonna have to watch it, like the first half of it before November, because you are going with me to see the second half. And he was like, okay.
Yeah. I was just so happy that like Cynthia, because here's the thing is I knew Cynthia had it in her because I know she's been on Broadway, but I'm glad that Cynthia brought Broadway energy to a Broadway musical, because so often the actors, like if you have a movie musical, actors will shy away from that energy. And like you can do that energy without being Broadway loud, right? You can still make it work for an intimate screen. And Cynthia fully captured that nuance. And I was just like, see, that is how you act in a movie musical.
I think that it also helps that they had people behind the scenes, producers, directors, that wanted that energy. Because that's the other thing that I see sometimes is that the actors themselves will be trying to bring that energy, but the people running the show, right, are like, no, this is the big screen. This isn't.
Yeah. See, I think in my opinion, she is the only one that really brought that. I think Jonathan Bailey had a few moments where it was real close. But like, I don't think, because Ariana, while she is a pop singer and has performed on stage there,
she doesn't. A star, though.
She's not a Broadway star. She's never performed on a stage as another character. In the way that you have to perform to the back, like you can look at Cynthia and Jonathan and see that they know how to perform to the back of the house,
right?
In a way that I don't think Ari does. So I don't think she brought amazing energy. Like she brought a very beautiful operatic energy, but she still didn't bring the same, like it was Cynthia, Idina, and Kristen that were able to bring that energy to the movie, and them only.
Which I feel like
they did amazing jobs.
Which I feel like that we knew that Idina and Kristen would.
Well, obviously they would.
Because I mean they were the originals, first of all, but also
I screamed.
But they've also done other things on Broadway, because like I felt like when they did Hairspray, because Kristen was in Hairspray.
Yeah.
And I felt like she brought the energy there too.
I think it was a bit easier for that because they had live audiences, if I remember correctly.
They may have, for them, because she did Hairspray. Didn't she do the movie and like the Fox Live thing too?
No, the movie was, hold on. Oh no, I'm thinking of the Fox Live thing. Never mind.
There's the Fox Live thing. I know Kristen was in that because she was opposite Dove Cameron.
No,
Ariana Grande was in that too.
Where is the? Hold on, because I don't think it was her that was in the movie. Who was?
Because I know Brittany Snow played the daughter.
Yes. Nope, don't give me that. It was Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle
Pfeiffer. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, for the Fox thing, it was Kristen.
It was Kristen. Yeah.
And then. Yeah, and I felt, and Ariana was.
She was really good in that.
Was Penny in Hairspray?
Yep, she was very good in that.
Fox thing, which was Amanda Bynes, I think, in the original movie, like in the movie remake with Zac Efron.
Yeah, in the movie, it was Amanda Bynes.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, it was funny because I was watching it with a friend, and my friend was like, "Wow, I didn't know Ariana could enunciate."
I mean, part of that is who she was under label with at the time when she first came up.
Pop music isn't necessarily about enunciation all the time. Like they do frequently, like that's just part of the genre. But like that, Hairspray was how I knew she would do well as Glinda. I was like, she's got the range, so she just needs the training.
Yeah.
And I truly do not care that she did not have a perfect operatic voice, because of the Glindas, it was Kristen. That was it. Like the other Glinda people, that's never been a requirement for any other Glinda. They just need to be able to hit the notes that Kristen hit.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, yeah.
So, anyways.
Y'all don't want to hear me up in this house singing Wicked, because I just be singing all of it. But I am classically trained, so like I can hit the notes that Ari hits. They're hard, but I can hit them.
I don't know if I can anymore, but I like, if I were to go back to like actually working my voice again, I probably could. Because I used to be able to pull off some ridiculously high notes without even warming up, which probably was not great for me, but
I mean, same, to be honest. Well, and that's also why, like, when people were doing like the challenge where they were all singing the high note in, I'm blanking the name of the song, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't, but okay.
The last song in Wicked Part 1.
Oh,
Cynthia's, you know, the high note.
Defying Gravity?
There you go. Defying Gravity, yes.
That's not even high.
But no, go. You are supposed to be getting ready for bed, madam. Then go to bed. Good night. Go potty.
It is very funny to me.
Well, okay, everybody was like, oh, this note is so high, blah, blah, blah. So they were all doing like the TikTok challenge with it. And I was like, y'all do know that like the Wizard and I is harder, right?
The Wizard and I is harder. So it's very funny to me that, like, as a singer, to see people talk about high notes, because it's so clear that the actual public does not know what a high note is. Because they'll be talking about stuff that is still solidly in a singer's, like it is a higher note. It's higher than middle C, but it's not what's considered a high note. Like on the register, it's literally not that high.
Right. Well, and because everybody was like, she just did so well with it. That's such a hard song, blah, blah. And I remember I had like a whole conversation with Julie, and I was like, they do know that Wizard and I is harder, right? Because of the way that you have to move your voice in that song. Like,
yeah.
No? Okay. That's fine.
It was so funny. I got into an argument for somebody who was like, Wicked is so technically difficult, and I was like, it's actually, if you have basic training, it's not a very difficult. Well, some people it's difficult. For some people, it's like, yeah, if it's difficult for you, I'm so sorry, you're not very good.
Oh, you want to tell them? Okay, hurry up, and then you need to go to bed, because I told you 10 minutes ago to go to bed.
Sorry,
it's fine, go ahead.
Yeah, you're back.
This is what I'm reading. It's a comic book.
Oh, nice.
And that's Catwad. He's silly.
Yeah. Very nice.
All right. It's bedtime unless you want me to turn the TV off. So.
No. TV, leave on.
Not the TV, Mom.
Hey, we'll pick something on Disney and go to bed.
Dang it, so I can't watch Doll tonight?
No. Love you. Good night.
Anyways, like, Wicked is an endurance musical.
Right.
Like, it is not technically a very difficult musical. I'm sorry to anyone who thinks it is, but it is not.
Correctamundo.
Like, sorry, not sorry.
I just assume that that's what people tell me that they've never actually done.
Yeah.
Musical theater. And I just let it go. I'm just like, okay.
We never had to do Stephen Sondheim. That's hard.
Which one?
Stephen Sondheim. He's the one that wrote Into the Woods. He is.
Oh yeah. He's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, he's notorious in musical theater circles, for people who don't know, for writing music where you actually have to count. Like, there is no clear beginning when you start singing. It's just
you have to count yourself in. Like, there's no way to know.
Yeah. Like, because I've sung on the, go listen, if you don't believe me, people, go listen to On the Steps of the Palace and listen to what the piano is doing, because that's all it is, just dun, dun, and you're just like, oh my god, I have to actually fucking count.
Yeah. All right. So Lauren Michelle went to eat dinner and took a shower and is officially joining the sprints and reading Phantasma. I need to get to this book.
Yeah.
Hello, Sherry. Cozy Reading Lauren said, I love Chicago. It's one of my favorites.
Nice.
I love Rent also. Lauren Michelle said her top 5 are Rent, Wicked, Beetlejuice, Hamilton, and Les Mis. I do love Beetlejuice. I wouldn't call it a top 5 necessarily, but I do like it. Here's the thing. I do like actually most Tim Burton movies, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the 90s kid in me. It probably is. Because I actually do like Tim Burton's version of Sweeney Todd the most.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was good. I haven't seen the original stage play, but yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Ashley. So excited for 24-hour sprints. I need to see me through the end of Escape the Readathon. I love Rent, Wicked, and Hamilton. Yeah, we listen to like in my house, like me and my brothers, we like together. We listen to Hamilton and then Epic a lot because they really like Epic too. Hairspray is also fun. The Lion King is probably in my top 5 too. Yeah, the Lion King.
Lion King, very good. I love the Broadway musicals. Just do such a good job of like adding to the original story. So, I really appreciate it.
Christina had supper. They had Wendy's and she did some admin. Everyone was saying hello to each other in the comments. Okay, so let me think. It is 10. No, it's not 10.
9:41.
Talk about. It is 8:41 for me. So we're going until 10 my time. So we could do another hour.
Do another hour because we'll talk for way too long anyways.
I love Hairspray, Rent, and I didn't watch Hamilton or Wicked yet. I will say, like, Hamilton is okay. Okay.
Conceptually, it's brilliant. Technically, it is not.
Conceptually, it's very good. Like the way the thought process behind this musical, top notch. The problem that I personally have with this musical is that the reason I don't necessarily like anyone doing, like, I have listened to other soundtracks of Hamilton where it's not like Joseph the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
That's a good one.
Just because that's like literally a core memory of my childhood. My grandma took me to see that when I was like Ari's age. So good. Anyway, that was a tangent. But my problem with Hamilton is that, and maybe this is, I've talked to other people that agree with me on this. So I don't necessarily feel like it's a hot take, but it could be. I don't necessarily. While Lin-Manuel Miranda is talented and he can write music and he's great with lyrics, I don't necessarily think that he is the strongest singer. And
he's not a singer.
Because of this, the problem I have with Hamilton is I don't feel like it translates well when other people play the character of Hamilton, because he originally wrote that part so that he could perform it.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be the one that performed it originally, which is fine, but then it makes it so that people that are actually strong singers that have done the part of Hamilton, it doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
That's really, like, if we stick to just like the original Hamilton, then yes. Yeah. I think that it's conceptually is a great musical and I do enjoy it. There are other parts, like most of the women's parts that were written where more than one person can sing that and it still sounds how it should. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like with specifically the part of Hamilton, it doesn't translate well to other voices. Lauren is jumping into her next book on Kindle, which is Janet Ivanovich, Notorious 19. I was already 20% in. Wonderful. And chatted over at Atia's sprint hopping around today. We love a good sprint hop. Okay, we are going to do another hour. Well, 59 minutes, 56 seconds, whatever. Never seen another version of Hamilton. So I haven't seen one, but you can hunt around for like soundtracks. All right, stop kicking the wall. Of like other people, or like you can find them on like videos and stuff on YouTube.
I think it would be a different thing to watch someone because like you're not listening to Hamilton. If I'm going to listen to Hamilton, I'm going to listen to the original cast. I would think I would be fine like watching people perform, because a performance, like if you're actually watching the play, there's so much more that's going into that.
Yeah, right? I think if I was like in person watching it.
Yeah. I kind of understand what you're saying there, is that like it is not a technically, I don't think it's a very it's not a technically challenging musical, because it's one of those things where like the sum of its parts or it's the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Right. It's a bunch of really well executed okay stuff that makes it into something that is great and kind of like flawless on the level that it is flawless on, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I do enjoy it for what it is. So like, don't
get very good.
Yeah,
he definitely knows how to write.
He definitely does. So I would never like take away that talent. I just don't. He's just not like a singer.
No. He's decent as a singer, but he is not anybody that's gonna like his writing is his stronger, right? His stronger attribute.
Right.
And that's like most people know that and recognize that about him. Or at least that's what he writes for himself. He doesn't write the real like fantastic technically challenging roles. Because I don't think that Usnavi wasn't a very technically challenging role either.
Right.
So, anyways.
How many technical difficulties here? Okay.
Gotta love technical difficulties. Those are so fun.
Sherry's on page 482 of Clockwork Princess. Wonderful. And Lexi did no reading, did some crocheting and chatting. That's perfectly fine. Reading is not a requirement. I mean, unless you feel that you need to read. Mm-hmm. And that's a requirement for you and yourself. Okay, so we're gonna do another hour, and then we should have like 15-ish minutes to talk, and then we'll go over to Amy.
Yeah.
So if you're following the playlist, it'll take you there. If you are following in the Sprint Bible, I'm sorry, Clockwork Prince, not Princess. If you're following the Sprint Bible, which is Christina's spreadsheet, then I think she has it set up so that if you're like, it'll take you to the playlist, so that it'll take you to each one. Okay, are you ready, Margaret?
I most certainly am.
All right, we'll see everybody in an hour. Oh, hi, Kelsey. We'll say hi to Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey. All right, we'll see everybody in an hour.
Bye.
Hello. How did we do?
We did okay. We fought some people in Baldur's Gate. And now we're falling.
I listened to a little bit of I Features the Beast is Me, and then I remembered that a podcast that I've been listening to dropped a new episode today, so I switched over to that.
Nice. And
So.
podcast dropped new episodes. I should go check that out and download those episodes. I'm such a dedicated fan.
Well, I had been listening on YouTube, and they don't drop the episodes on YouTube until Tuesday because they need time to like edit out things, you know, and censor. So I had forgotten that like the actual podcast itself drops on Fridays.
Nice. Yeah, I'm waiting. I have one podcast and I'm waiting until more episodes drop because it's like a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait until there are more episodes before I listen to this next episode. So, anyways. There we go.
Oh, I swear, everything is holy. This is the playlist. This will put you on the playlist. This link here from Christina, and then this one will take you directly to Amy.
Yay!
Finish. I lied. In 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. Okay, so we've got 10 minutes of talking to do.
Hello, Sherry. Did I miss chat about musicals? I love musicals. We also love musicals. Got lots of stuff. Oh no, it's too early for that. Having lunch and starting reading. I took a nap today too for like 3 hours. I had like a weird dream though. I'm not gonna talk about that on the internet, but like
Eva,
I don't know if this is like part of my healing process or what, but like I had a weird dream, bro.
Weird dreams feel kind of par for the course when life does weird stuff to you.
Right. Christina did read. I think I got in a couple chapters, but this character is so wrong. There is a mystery of some sort, and I want to know what that is. So it's hard to DNF, but this chick is just bad.
I mean, I feel like sometimes if there is anything that keeps you like going, okay, I need to know this.
It's okay for the characters to be a little bit messy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes
you
it's
do not have to like the characters to want to know what happens in the book.
Right. Yeah. I think for me, like I am a character-driven person, like when I'm like a character-driven reader. But if there's something else, like if I don't like any of the characters, but there's something else that's pulling me into the book, I'll still read it.
Yep. Listen, I'm a nosy bitch. We have established this.
Well, me too, because if
there are questions that I still want to have answered, I am still going to try to answer them.
Right. 25 pages of Notorious 19. Here's the thing, okay? My grandma, you read this series. I think I read the first like 5. There's just so many books in this series that I don't know. Like, how does one tackle this series? Like, do I read them? Because I kind of want to reread them, like the first 5, and then like continue. But like, do I read
them right? Like series, right?
Yeah, but like, do I read them simply as like palate cleansers?
They're if that's the series I'm thinking of. They're really 300 pages.
Yeah, I mean they're really fast reads because I know I read the first 5 when I was like a teenager. But like, how does one tackle? But it's a huge series.
Yeah.
Like, do I just read them sporadically, like as like little, palate cleansers, or what? I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm just proud of myself because I actually finally finished a series this year. Well, yeah. I mean, technically, I don't remember. Did I read Hex at the end of last year, or did I read it at the end of this year? I think I read it at the end of last year. Hexed. I think it was the end of last year. But I finally, a little spoiler, but I finally finished the Dreamland Billionaire series that I had been reading since 2023. Because I read the first 2 books back to back, and then the third book, I just wasn't vibing, And so I took like a break. But then I was like, girl, you need to just read it. No, Margaret.
I'm not. Okay. I'm hearing a little bit back on my end.
But I was like, I need to just read it. You know what I mean? So I did. And I did give it 4 5 stars, I think. Because I gave the first one like 4 or 4.5. The second one is a solid 6. And then the third one was a 5. So ultimately, I gave the series itself 5 stars.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good. Lauren Asher is definitely an auto buy for me. I do need to still read her like F1 series, like her first series. I'm kind of hoping to love it because I've really loved the Dreamland Billionaires and the, what is the other one? Lakefront Billionaires.
Yeah.
I own all of those that have been released. And then like her Christmas novella that she came out with last year, it was cute. I gave it like 4 stars. It wasn't like, it was a novella. I always want more from a novella, but it definitely gave like Grey's Anatomy vibes.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like honestly, it was really fun. Like it was a fun read. I might actually reread it for Christmas in July this year. Because it was a quick read too. But it definitely gave me like Grey's Anatomy at Christmas vibes. I don't know. I thought it was fun. I
remember when shows used to run long enough that they would do Christmas episodes.
Right? She just seems to only have one dimension. One thought process, dual POV, but hers is all about breaking her boss's loyalty to his wife and how getting him to break will be her stepping stone.
Girl.
She said it's not even spicy. Hell no. I don't know, Christina. I don't know if it could pull me in enough for that. Because when you say like a bad, like the character is bad, like I expect her to be like, I mean, I guess this would fall into like morally gray, but like if all you're talking about the entire book is how you're gonna break your boss and his wife up, I don't know. I don't love a cheating trope. Oh look, Kelsey's proud of me. Thanks, Kels. Here's the thing, okay, Kelsey. So Kelsey, Reni, and I all buddy read. We have like 4 minutes, so we're gonna wrap up real quick. But Kelsey, Reni, Katie, and I all buddy read Love Unwritten, I believe it was, or maybe we buddy read both of them. I don't remember, but we buddy read at least one of the Lakefront Billionaires books on sprints. Like somebody has a sprint on their channel where we read where we read it like on release day, and it was last year during Amazing Readathon. So we did that, and then they were all like, well, have you finished Dreamland Billionaires yet? Because Kelsey and Katie had read all of them. And I was like, no, I don't really like the way Cal's written, blah, blah, blah. And Kelsey was like, you have to finish it. And I owned it like on my thing, like on my shelf. And so I finally finished it. So Kelsey's so proud of me. Thanks, Kelsey. We're going to be jumping from what I'm trying to do. Channel to channel. I will be around most of the night. At some point, I'll probably go lay down and sleep. Probably around the time Aoife gets on, she'll tell me to go take a nap. That's usually what happens. Like, usually, I make myself go until Aoife is like, Neva, have you slept yet? Because that's who Aoife is as a friend. She's the check-in friend. And then when it gets back to Margaret, she'll be like, Neva, did you sleep at any point? And if Margaret feels that I look too tired, she'll send me off to take another nap.
I don't think at this point. I think you just get on and you see my face and you go.
And I go, yeah, At this point, I see the look Margaret gives me when she's like, "Hi, Neva, how are you doing?" And then I go to answer, and I can just tell by the look she gives me that I'm like, "But I think I'm gonna go lay down during this first sprint." So,
You're just like, I know, Mom, I'm gonna take a nap.
yes, it does. I'm so excited. Kelsey, let me know if you want to buddy read this because I would love to buddy read it with you and whoever else wants to. But I would love to buddy read it. There will be the same characters, just a different storyline each one, so you can technically skip around if you want certain things that tie them together. Yeah, and I'm a completionist, so knowing me, I'll just read them straight through. If you're following the playlist, be sure to refresh as there has been things added. Yes, I did add Reni and Margaret during the sprint. I also, during the next sprint, I will be tagging everybody. I forgot to set up my description. I'm terrible at that. But literally, what I'm going to do, I don't know how anyone else is going to do it. I will be tagging absolutely everybody that ever, like, that signed up this year to do 24-hour sprints. I will just be tagging them as, like, May hosts, and then underneath it will just say other hosts. So they will be the other people because there's like 15 of us. But I like for them all to be followed if possible. You have to have more than just that. Yeah, that's crazy. Ray didn't even read it on sprints, only the first, and now she has DNF the series.
That doesn't surprise me. The number of conversations. We had a lot of conversations about books that Reni did not like, and I was just like, girl.
Honestly, though, I thought, here's the thing is I liked the second book more than the first one.
Yeah.
And it did take me quite a bit of time to finish the second one because Katie, I think, we all got most of it. Like me, Kelsey, and Katie got to like halfway through on sprints. And then I set it down for like 3 or 4 months because I just couldn't fit it like after that specific prompt for Amazing Rated Fawn. It didn't fit anywhere else for me. And so I ended up putting it down, but I picked it up before the end of last year. Yes, we definitely should. We'll get with Katie and we'll figure that out because I agree we should. You're welcome, Christina. So we are going to leave you here because it is 10 o'clock and we're going to
go to bed.
Margaret is going to go to bed. Thank you, Margaret, for hanging out with us. We will see Margaret later tomorrow.
Yes, you'll see me probably tomorrow morning.
And
it's too late for me to run games.
I am going to jump over to Amy. So if you are going to follow me, that's wonderful. Margaret, thank you for hanging out with us. We love to have you.
Have a good night, guys.
Yes, we love this too. I did not always do it this way. I used to do all 24 hours by myself. And then Brianna suggested that I do it this way. And I was like, what a good idea. And it just has never ended. Okay, so we're going to leave you. I will see you over at Amy's and we'll see Margaret in the morning. Everybody say goodbye.